Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Dado Jayamudirayat Nastaprayesu Abhatreshu Nityam Bhagavadasevaya Bhagavate Uttamashloker Bhaktir Bhavadina Shtike. Hare Krishna, everyone. Good morning. We are reading from Canto 5, Chapter 14, The Forest of Enjoyment, Text 5. It's prose, so I will just read the Sanskrit and then we can do word by word. Tatra gado damsha mashaka samapasadair manujai shalapta shakunta taskara musa kadibir ubarutyamana bahi prana kvachit Parivartamano smin atvani avitya kama karmavir uba rakta manasanu pannartam naralokam gandharva nagaram upapannam idi mitya drishtir anubashyati. Word by word, tatra, to that household life, gata, gone. Damsha, gadflies. Mashaka, mosquitoes. Sama, equal to. Abasadai, who are low class. Manujai, by men. Shalapa, locusts. Sakunta, a large bird of prey. Taskara, thieves. Mushaka adibi, by rats and so on. Ubarutyamana, being disturbed. Bahi prana, the external life air, in the form of wealth and so on. Kvachit, sometimes. Parivartamana, wandering. Asmin, in this. Atvani, path of material existence. Avidya, karma, by ignorance and lust. Karmabhi, and by fruitive activities. Ubarakta manasha, due to the mind's being influenced. Anupapanna artham, in which the desired results are never obtained. Naralokam, this material world. Gandharva nagaram, a will of the wisp. Upapannam, existing. Iti, taking it as. Mithya drishti, he whose vision is mistaken. Anubasyati, observes. Translation and purport given by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sometimes the conditioned soul in household life, being attached to material wealth and possessions, is disturbed by gadflies and mosquitoes. And sometimes locusts, birds of prey and rats give him trouble. Nonetheless, he still wanders down the path of material existence. Due to ignorance, he becomes lusty and engages in fruitive activity. Because his mind is absorbed in these activities, he sees the material world as permanent, although it is temporary, like a phantasmagoria, a house in the sky. Purport: The following song is sung by Narottam Das Thakur. Ahankara matta hane nitai pada pashriya asatyera satya karimani. Due to forgetting the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda and being puffed up by material possessions, wealth and opulence, one thinks the false temporary material world to be an actual fact. This is the material disease. The living entity is eternal and blissful. But despite miserable material conditions, he thinks the material world to be real and factual due to his ignorance. Om Akyana Dimrandasya Gyana Anjala Shalakya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Katamakyam Tadadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Patakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sakrajadam Sakana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Satvedam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sakana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vidamscha El Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostude Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpada Rupyasha Kripa Sindhu Priyevacha Patitanam Pavanepyo Vaishnavepyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare. Sometimes the conditioned soul in household life, being attached to material wealth and possessions, is disturbed by gadflies and mosquitoes. Sometimes locusts, birds of prey, and rats give him trouble. Nonetheless, he still wanders down the path of material existence. Due to ignorance, he becomes lusty and engages in fruitive activity. Because his mind is absorbed in these activities, he sees the material world as permanent, although it is temporary, like a phantasmagoria, a house in the sky. So, I don't see. So we are continuing discussions with Rahugana and Jadabharat. Chapter 13, this is chapter 14, both are connected. In chapter 13, Jadabharata is explaining an allegory, and in chapter 14, Shukadeva Goswami is explaining what the allegory is. And the message of Jadabharat in simple way put is, material life is dangerous, it's painful, and especially when we enter householder life, there is a time also where we have to leave it, and we should not forget it. So he tells Rahugana, you have ruled the world enough, it's time to retire. And so he's giving some examples why householder life is very dangerous. And in this verse, he's specifically pointing out that how people are struggling to obtain, to gather wealth, riches and wealth. So this is this verse. And yes, I feel like always speaking on this topic or on household life, I feel little unqualified because, I have not experience. If children, they speak pastimes of Krishna, it's very sweet, and it's also beneficial to the listener, even though if it's a child speaking the pastime, it will help, it will be conducive for our spiritual life. It helps us to evoke some emotions for Krishna. But if a child speaks philosophy, it's like, a child tells, don't be jealous, don't be greedy, don't ask for sweets, don't be lusty. It's if a child says, it's we know it's some realization is missing, so we get it, but we don't feel the same effect. So I feel like a child. My words will have probably no effect because there is no realization in this area. But I have a story. I don't know where this story comes from. I heard this story from Bhakti Mukunda Swami Maharaj. He has for everything a story. And I also heard this story in Buddhist tradition with a different way. In the Buddhist tradition, this is a story about a monk who tries to meditate. And Bhakti Mukunda Maharaj, he's telling a story about a person who's trying to read the Bhagavad Gita. So he says, okay, now let's save some time to study the Bhagavad Gita. He's sitting. He has bought a copy of the Gita from some book distributors probably. And then a rat comes and starts to eat the pages of the Gita. In the story of the Buddhist, the rat comes to eat the cloth of the monk. So this person thinks, what can I do? I want to read the Gita in peaceful way, in peaceful time. What shall I do? So he's asking a friend, and friend, they always have the best advice. They say, buy a cat. So if you buy a cat, the rats will go away. So he bought a cat. Cat ate up all the rats, and then there were no rats available, and then the cat got hungry. So he wanted to read the Gita, but there is a hungry cat, and he's asking for some milk. So the friend advises the next thing to buy a cow. So to feed the cat. So he's buying the cow, milking the cow, giving the milk to the cat. But then the cow is hungry. So he says, okay, now I need to feed the cow is more difficult. So he's buying a land, cultivating a land so the cow can eat the grass, so he can give some milk, so the cat can drink the milk, so he can read Gita in peaceful state. But maintaining a cow with all the fields is quite difficult, so he goes again to the friend. And as always, friends have the best advice, and he says, I think you should get married. You need a wife who takes care of everything. So you think, okay, let's get married. He gets married. So he hopes that the wife takes care of everything. But wife also has some needs. She wants to have a shelter, a home, a family, etc. So he starts working. And everything started. He wanted to read peacefully the Bhagavad Gita. And now he ended up with no time at all. So the story is, clearly he lost his purpose. Why he wanted to read the Gita and everything else, what he is doing, he lost the purpose. And that's the message, or the Vedas say, for everything in our life, for every stage in our life, for every ashram, for every varna, everything there is a purpose why we enter it. And if we forget the purpose, then we will be stuck into it. Grihastha ashram, especially there for, of course, all the ashram, the goal is to attain Krishna Prem, love for God, for Krishna. We want to advance in Krishna consciousness. And especially, but Grihastha ashram is usually the only ashram where you earn livelihood, where you earn wealth. As brahmachari, you don't earn wealth, and as a vanaprastha and later, that's not your duties. As grihastha, there is the time to earn wealth. So dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. But typically, what happens? We all become griha medhi. Medasha means buddhi, intelligence. Amedasha means your intelligence gets stolen. It can happen in every ashram that your intelligence becomes stolen. But especially in Grihastha ashram, there is much chance that your buddhi gets stolen. And then you get stuck with artha and kama. and then you don't think about moksha. Here, Jadabharata says, avidya kama. Due to ignorance, we are entangled in karma. We forget the purpose and we don't think further. So, this is a very important life or thing, that Krishna's system of varnashrama, that is meant that we advance at every stage. Krishna's system is that from every ashram to next, we are actually advancing. That should happen. If you from brahmachari ashram to go to the next ashram, you should make advancement in Krishna consciousness. But sometimes it happens, yesterday's verse, Prabhupada explains, someone becomes brahmachari, he takes up sannyasi, but then happens, he falls down and then gets family. But that's not the letter that Krishna, the stairs that Krishna explains. And we may start to think that Grihastha ashram is for those who want sense gratification, and we might think this is the ashram where all the failures, all the losers end up. And we make this camp, ashram, a loser's camp. But this was not the intention of Krishna, that the Grihastha ashram becomes a loser's camp. This is a camp where you make further advancement from your brahmachari life. And if we forget this, then we end up like here, Jadabharata explaining that we strive for wealth, we don't know the limit, how much I should earn, and then we get problem. Mosquitoes starts to bite, rats come, thieves come, everything. Our wealth gets stolen. Yudhishthir Maharaj has a conversation with Narada Muni, and he is explaining what is ideal life, ideal household life. Narada Muni is explaining. And of course, he explains different things. He says, in household life, you should depend on Krishna, serve Krishna, and this is actually applicable for every ashrama. But then he says, as we mentioned, Grihastha ashram is the ashram where you earn, where you get wealth. So he says, you should earn wealth as much as is required for maintain your body. Your body, if you have a family, maintain your family. As much only required for maintaining the necessities. That is an ideal household life. He says if you earn much more than you need, you should donate to the Krishna consciousness movement. If you earn much more than you need, donate to the Krishna consciousness movement. It's interesting, there Narada Muni also says, as a Grihastha, because the Grihastha they earn, so they are also the provider for all the other ashramas, so they need to give donations. Not only for men, they should also care for the animals and nature. Is what Narada Muni says. We should consider, Grihastha should consider every animal, every plant, tree as his child. And in this way, take care of them. That is where you take care of them, that they have everything what they need. Provide for them, and Narada Muni says your wealth or your money, how you need to spend your money is in 5 ways. You spend your money for worship of the deities of Krishna. You spend your money for Vaishnavas and saints. You give them donations. You spend your money for distributing prasadam. So everyone gets prasadam. You distribute money, or you get, with the money you get prasadam and offer it to the forefathers. And with the money you make prasadam and you feed yourself. This is also what he says. Yeah, this is 5 things. And the fourth one, forefathers. Prabhupada didn't much introduce it in our Krishna conscious movement because, Western world, they are not much acquainted with forefathers and etc. But in traditional, there After someone has departed, for certain days they offer pinda, and then yearly they offer pinda, hopefully prasadam, that this soul gets liberated. And Narada Muni also says, and it's a duty in a household life, it's your duty that every member of the household life gets engaged in Krishna consciousness. This sometimes we forget. We should encourage every member of our family to be engaged in devotional service. Of course, now time, place, circumstance can be different. Sometimes our family members will not agree, but according to your situation, this is our duty. It's not a use. You can go. It's no use to go to others and tell them advice how they should preach if you cannot engage your family members in Krishna consciousness. So this is a message of Narada Muni. So we see Narada Muni tells the ideal life, but what happens? Ideal household life, but if we forget this, then we start to earn money wrongly and wealth wrongly. Krishna tells Arjuna what a demoniac person thinks, or what a person of asuric qualities, how he thinks of wealth. And he thinks, in the Gita, Krishna says, an asuric person thinks, today I have so much money, this is my plan, this is my scheme, and tomorrow I will make so much money. This is the asuric tendencies. Always making plan how much to earn in life. And this is very, if you do this without knowing how you should spend your money, then it's very dangerous. Here the allegory is that the one person, he wants to earn money, he goes to the forest to find some wood, fruits, etc. that he can bring back to sell. And while going so, what happens? The insects come and bite him. Literally, mosquitoes come and suck out your blood. And some rats and other birds come. Maybe you have a field, you have grown some grains. Some birds come, they come and steal. So this is the material world. Everyone in this world is such that in every way possible, the material world tries to take away money from you. Because Lakshmi, she belongs to Krishna only. But if we use it ourselves, then Lakshmi will not stay. And then Prabhupada's usual statement, tax collecting, he will say, in the world, in the future, so much tax will be exerted on people that they have to work and work and work just to pay all the bills, etc. Narada Muni says, just earn so much that you can maintain your life, but in this world, just to maintain your life, you need to work really, really hard. I mean, this is the nowadays world. And because we think the wealth is the money which we earn in wrong way, it is like a phantasmagoria. Because Lakshmi only can stay with Krishna and not with our sense gratification, then every wealth we earn, we think we have earned so much, but this is just a question of time till this wealth will be lost. And even as devotees, we need, I think, as a devotees, many devotees, we struggle with money and with Lakshmi and wealth. Somehow, we don't have yet figured out how to earn money and that money is with us or is used correctly. Yeah? And that the wealth can stay with us, it has to be spent for Krishna. This is very important. Everything you earn, if you offer it to Krishna, then Lakshmi will also stay with you. We will think, if I give so much donation, it will go, but this is not the way. If you spend it for Krishna, Krishna protects it. That's the secret how to get wealthy. You spend it for Krishna. And we see many devotees, they are in debt. They have so many debt, and this is not a good sign usually. This means that you have not learned yet to utilize your money for Krishna correctly. This is a very important thing, I think. I also, sometimes if I see devotees asking other devotees for money that I can go for holidays, then you have to think again what's wrong with you. If you have to ask money to go to holidays, then you haven't figured out how you are spending your money. If you are in that case, read the books again and study again and start with ABC again. So this is very important. Every rapan we spend, Krishna we will need to have this. My father always tells me, you can earn less in your life, little in your life, but if you spend it for Krishna, you will see you will be never in debt. And you will find other people, they earn more than you, but they will be always in debt if they don't spend it to Krishna. And this, everyone can practically find out. There Krishna doesn't make games, he saves you really if you. There is an alvar, he sings, Urile kani illai, uravu mattoruvar illai. When we ask what is the real wealth in your life, alvar sings, people lament, Urile kani illai, they lament that they don't have a land, a property, where they can buy something and build something. They are lamenting they don't have properties. But you should be lamenting if you don't have a place to live in the holy dham. If you don't have a place to live in the holy dham, then you don't have a wealth. We think wealth is land, but the real wealth is when you get a place in the holy dham. The Alvar says, we all think that I don't have rights. We in this world, we try to give everyone equal rights, but we are always afraid that I don't get the rights that belong to me. But the Alvar says, your right is to serve Krishna. And if you forget that right, what is the use of any other rights you want? Your right is to serve Krishna, and if you forget that right, the other thing is not so wealthy. Uravu mattoruvarilla. He says, we lament that all our family members, relatives, they don't care about us. They treat us badly, etc. That's the usual lamentation. But Alvar says, make sure that your relatives and friends, you have friends as devotees, that you have relationships with devotees. Because if you don't have any relationship with devotees, then you are poor. Your real relationship, you should build relationships with devotees. Otherwise, you are poor. Every family member, we can have many family members, but if you don't have a relationship with devotees, then you are poor. So it's a very nicely, the Alvar explains what real wealth is actually. And here, Prabhupada, he is giving the song of Narottam Das Thakur, Ahankara Matta Hone, and this is a part from Nitai Pada Kamala song, where this is a song about glorification of Lord Nityananda. And in this section, it's interesting that Narottam Das Thakur, he is lamenting that he says, we are puffed up by material possessions and wealth, and then we think, who is Nityananda? What is he gonna do? That's the case of us. We think we have so much wealth and possessions, and then we think, who is Nityananda? And this is a real lamentation, that we don't understand who Lord Nityananda is. In this way, we think false to be true. But only Nityananda, Lord Nityananda, can show us what is true and false. He is our Guru. Nitai Pada Kamala, Godis Chandra Suchitala. So Lord Nityananda is the master. He is our shelter. He will show us love for Radha and Krishna. He is going to give us prema. But if we forget this and think, this is my wealth, who is Nityananda, then our life is ruined. Therefore, also another prayer of Tirumangayal where he says, Kudiporndu ninnadikil vandu buhundhen, கூரை சோரிவை தந்தன கருளீர் அடியேனை பணி ஆண்டு கொலந்தாய் அருந்தூர் மேல் திசை என்ற அம்மானே. So we know we have to take shelter of Krishna. And now the Alvar says, I know I have to take shelter of you, but I have already built up all this. I have built up a family. I have built up so much house and everything. And I always think, how will I earn my food? How will I earn my clothes? How will I earn my livelihood? Krishna, I am so fallen, I don't know what to do. Therefore, Krishna, Kudiborandu Ninnadikil. Therefore, Krishna, I don't come alone to surrender at your lotus feet. I come with all this bag and baggages. I come with my family, I come with my possessions and wealth I have earned. I don't know how to spend it. I don't know how to treat and guide my family members. I only know that I can bring them at your lotus feet and you should give shelter to them. I think this is a really nice prayer because sometimes, we usually take shelter alone and don't think about the others. We think the others are mosquitoes, we think the others are the rats, etc. And then we say we discard them and then we just surrender alone. But this beautiful prayer says, take shelter bring them all and put them at the lotus feet of Krishna. And Krishna will take care of every one of your families, your wealth, etc. He knows how to use them. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki, Shri Shri Gauranitai ki. And with this, this is something which I wanted to share, some points. And thank you for listening. And wish you a good day. No, we can, if you want to discuss, we can have some. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for your lecture. Recently I was reading that, also on the topic of earning money, that actually only Shudras earn money, and Brahmanas and Kshatriyas don't earn money in that sense. And it was a very strong statement that if a Brahmana actually depends on others, he is losing all his vertical intentions. And of course nowadays we know that teachers and also doctors and so they earn a lot. And I was thinking like how to apply it in our life. Of course, if we spend the money for Krishna, then it's his possession in that way. But still, we should follow because if knowledge and health is actually bought, then it's quite dangerous. So I want to.
Where did you hear this?
In Srimad Bhagavatam 7:11, I think. There the Varnashram system is described.
I would say, I'm not sure if it's Shudras who earn money, it's the Vaishyas, they.
They are earning money, but they are not depending on
Yeah.
They don't get employed. They employ people, but they don't get employed.
Yeah, this is the thing. Vaishyas, they are the one who generate wealth. They are the one who generate, in this world, in the modern world, they are the one who do business. And then Shudras, they get employed there, and Grahas and Kshatriyas, they are in managerial and government parts, and Brahmanas in the teaching part. It doesn't mean that the others, how should a Brahmana eat and live if he doesn't have money? That's not the statement of this.
There it was written that they depend on donations.
Yes. So,
The expenses here was
yeah.
high.
Yeah. this is the thing, that we should not think that, sometimes what happens is that we think brahmanas, they should not earn, and then we might invite someone who is a teacher, and then we will see, you are a brahmana, this is your occupation, and there is no need to give any donation. This is the wrong mentality that we can get. But the right mentality is that we give them donations, because everyone needs at the end something to. A kshatriya needs, a shudra needs, not only vaishyas. So at that time, everyone knew, the vaishyas knew that they have to provide for the other varnas. And not only for other varnas, they knew they had to provide for the other ashramas also. They were the one who provided for the brahmacharis, vanaprasthas and sannyasis. So that was that system. Nowadays it's of course times have changed, etc. I just say that if you are a grahastha, if you are earning money, always save some amount for Vaishnavas and give them to them. This is the. Actually, Narada Muni, in the ideal, in that it will be 14th chapter in the 7th canto where he speaks of this. I mentioned that Narada Muni says about 5 things where money should be spent. And the first one was worshipping the deity, one was for the Vaishnavas. And then, at the end, Narada Muni says, in this day, a Kanishta Adhikari will think that he will only earn money and give it only to the worship of the deities. But that's not the highest understanding. That's a Kanishta Adhikari's understanding. The thing is, you need to understand that in every heart, in every Vaishnava, there is Krishna. And to help them, in this way, see Krishna in everyone and provide for them, that is even a better. That is the highest way you can spend your money. So if someone is a grahastha, I always encourage save money. My father usually says, if you see a Vaishnava, if you want to give donation, don't just take money out and give them. For a long time, save every day, every time you earn money, save something and say this is for the Vaishnavas. Have this meditation. When you meet them, take from this and give it to them. Have this meditation that it's your responsibility to provide for the others. So this is, I would say, for the modern times. Of course, teachers, etc. If you live in the West, you have to adapt to the West. We don't have Varnashrama here, so you have to adapt. So if you are a teacher and earn, don't think if you are a teacher and get some salary, don't say I don't need, take it and give it for the Krishna consciousness movement.
Thank you for your class. On the point of Lakshmi staying with devotees and not with atheists, it seems that this material world is the opposite. So many atheists, they're very, very rich, and the Vaishnavas, they don't have money. So how do we understand this? What do they do better than we do, maybe in this term? How do we?
Your question is like Parikshit Maharaj. In the 10th canto, he asks, Vishnu is the husband of Lakshmi, but the devotees of Vishnu are poor. Lord Shiva, he is a renunciate. He lives in the hills and he is very, very simple, but his devotees are rich. How is this? Again, I would say, the understanding what is wealth, what is real wealth, and all these wealthy people we know, they are all in debt in one way or another. They get loan from the bank, they invest it in stocks or whatever, they don't pay taxes. That's also one thing. But in this way, of course, we can argue if this is really their wealth or no. I'm pretty sure that the wealth we see, even though we see wealthy countries, it will not stay for a long time. Huh? The USA, it was for a long time very well the wealthiest and etc. But they are now very afraid that they are going to lose their power in this world. This is always so. The wealth they have, they are always afraid that it's gonna get lost. But a devotee, when he has wealth, even little, he's never afraid that it's gonna get lost. So I would say in this way, who is really wealthy? I don't know. Their demands are really high. Their expenses are really high. Are they at the end wealthier than a simple living Vaishnava who is always satisfied? And we only see some percentage who gets rich. Many try. I mean, everyone tries. This is nowadays, the books and all the books are how you get financially. Before this age, you need to do this and all this, But this is a lot of business, but how many end up in that position? It's another question. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm not a finance expert, so.
That's interesting. All these debts.
I'm just thinking, in India, the temples are the richest, usually. The richest lie in the temple, in India. And everyone was provided, in India. Everyone had enough. Even though all the money was in the temple, somehow the money belonged to the deity of that village. The jewelries, everything belonged to the deity, and the village was maintained. So I think that's probably, that wealth will never be taken away. Even in, I forgot the temple's name. Padmanabha Swami's temple, they have, the underground found this, but no one dares to go and take this wealth because it belongs to Krishna. Of course, the British took many things already, but
May I add something to this point?
yeah.
I was just thinking that Lakshmi is actually gods of fortune, and as this verse actually describes, is the wealth that is not spent for Krishna is like mosquitoes, they're not so a thing that we desire actually. And we also hear that so many people are wealthy, but for example, Krishna Maharaj always tells, the wealthiest is not the one who has the most, but the one who needs the least. And so, if people have a lot of wealth outside, they are not happy with it. It doesn't bring them happiness, like Lakshmi. Only if it is spent for Krishna, then it is Lakshmi. And it's also described how Krishna is taking away all your possessions if you're trying to come to him sincerely. And if you're in the state that you cannot deal with a lot and give everything to Krishna, he's taking it away. And then only if you're in that exalted position where you can really deal properly with this Lakshmi, you get it again.
I just reminds me, the Bhagavatam says that money that you spend for Krishna, that is Lakshmi. Money that you don't spend for Krishna, that's actually the external energy. It's Parvati, Durga. Even though if it's the same money, if you spend it for Krishna, then it's Lakshmi. If you spend it for material things, then it's actually Durga. So it means it will gonna condition us more,
Even Kali says you can, like Kali is residing where gold is, so it's actually material energy personified. So
I also wanted to add something. As I see, it's not only my opinion actually, that many devotees, they lack education about how to treat Lakshmi energy, because this is energy, and so many devotees, they have confusion how to deal with this energy. And that's why so many, because to be a devotee doesn't mean to be poor. But if we don't know how to treat this energy properly, then we will be poor automatically. Yeah, so So many devotees they lack this education.
I'm always wondering what we can do, because when you, for example, if you live in the temple, you are provided, right, by the temple. And if you live outside and earn yourself, it will be still a difference, If you earn yourself, you will be a little bit more careful. But if you don't earn it yourself, you are provided, then you will think, it just comes, right? And then we don't understand it belongs to Krishna. And then, we see temple properties like temple vans usually. They are in the temple vans are in the baddest condition possible, Any other car you take is much better maintained than the temple van because no one thinks this belongs to Krishna, right? So somehow this education needs to happen that this wealth, you always understand, it belongs to Krishna. And then when you go as a grihasta, you always, even if you earn it yourself, you know that belongs to him.
Yeah, it seems that's why everybody should go inside.
There you earn, yeah.
Saraswati Thakur said, right, that he always keeps the brahmacharis in debt so that they always are busy too. That was his strategy. Keep the temples in debt. Do you remember how the story ends? What does Bhagavatam say about why Krishna devotees are poor, Shiva devotees?
Then it's the statement that Krishna takes everything away that is an obstacle in your life. And if wealth is an obstacle, Krishna will take it away. And he makes you poor till you surrender unto him. If you are fully surrendered, then Krishna can give you as much as he likes and you will never be entangled. Sudama, he was concerned that this money, wealth will bring him to the wrong path. But Krishna says, no, you are surrendered to me. I give you so much as you want. You don't need to fear. That's it's the story there is about Ashura. Forgot his name. Who gets this boon to put the Vrika, Vrikasura. That demigods, they easily give you something. They don't question what wish do you have, is this good for you or not. They just, if you have a wish, they give it to you. Krishna isn't like this. Krishna always thinks, is this beneficial for you or not? And in case of Vrikasura, Lord Shiva just gave him the boon, and then it made some havoc.
And can I add also some small point about Sankirtan? In Hungary, the Hare Krishna community, they get grants from the government, some money from the government. And once the Budapest temple president, he asked from Shivaram Swami Maharaj, can we get also some percentage to cover the temple expenses? He said, no, your money is on the street. Go and do book distribution. He said, not even 1%, not even 1 penny. Just go and collect money on the streets. To encourage devotees to do book distribution.
Yes, when Switzerland was at its highest point, we had so much wealth through book distribution, and then also in Mayapur we helped quite a lot. I heard the Pushpa Samadhi of Prabhupada was built from this and many other projects. But then, then we forgot how to use the Lakshmi, and then Lakshmi disappeared. This is the
And also the way the Lakshmi was got is maybe not that good.
Okay.
That's what Harinam says.
Oh.
Whatever happened, all this Lakshmi and all the projects, Dole and so on.
Yeah.
So much Lakshmi was wasted. And he's saying because sometimes book distributors, they were not dealing so nicely with people. That's also how Lakshmi is not pleased.
She left us. She left us.
Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.